everybody, how's it going out there? Welcome to Good Movies and Music. Hope you're having a good day so far. So today we are doing another movie reaction. We're watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure from 1989. And before we get into that, just wanted to say again another quick thank you for everybody who's been watching my videos and liking them and subscribing. You know, this is a pretty brand new channel. I just started it a couple months ago, and my second movie reaction ever, which was Monty Python and the Holy Grail, that video just took off, and it's, you know, at this point it's over 8,000 views, which, considering I only had 6 subscribers when I uploaded it, is pretty mind-boggling. So yeah, it's just really fun and really exciting to know that people are watching these videos and that they're responding to them. All your comments have been great, so much insight and humor, and just really good, solid, positive comment section. So you love to see it. And so today we're here with a reaction to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. You know, I'm just at the right age where, growing up in the 90s, you know, we would go to video rental stores on the weekend, and this poster was always up. But at that point, the movie had already been out for several years. I think it was one of those situations where the poster was just so iconic that they just left it up. But I never actually watched it. I think just by virtue of the year that I was born, I just kind of, the 80s and, you know, late 80s, early 90s is just a time that I just have missed out. And then as I grew older, I had phases where I got into the 70s or the 60s, you know, but I never really went back and got into the 80s. And what's exciting about that is that it gives me a lot of great films to go back and watch, you know, whether it's comedy or action or horror. I mean, the biggest movies of the 80s that you can name, I probably haven't watched them. So that's going to be a pretty frequent part of this channel, is going back and watching those movies that I definitely missed out from the 80s. And I kind of find myself in a comedy mood today, which is why we're watching Bill and Ted. That, and, you know, they just released the third in this trilogy, the Bill and Ted trilogy, last year, was it? It was Bill and Ted Face the Music. And yeah, that trailer looked fun. I wanted to watch it, but I figured, you know, I haven't watched the first 2 yet. Let me catch up on those, and then I'll watch Face the Music. So this is going to be my reaction to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Let's go. Ooh, what are we looking at right now? Kind of trippy. Why did percussion in the 80s sound like somebody was just banging a stick up against a piece of sheet metal? Like, what did they think cymbals sounded like when they were programming the synthesizers, you know?
Hi. Welcome to the future. San Dimas, California, 2688. And I'm telling you, it's great here. Bowling averages are way up. Mini golf scores are way down. I'm telling you, this place is great. But it almost wasn't. If I should fail to keep these two on the correct path, the basis of our society will be in danger. Don't worry, it'll all make sense.
Man, rest in peace, George Carlin. If there was a stand-up comedy Mount Rushmore, he's got to be on it for sure, right?
Wild Stallion!
Also, nice touch of the future being like 700 years into the future. Because how many great films that we watch today that were made like 30 or 40 years ago, the future was 2010, you know what I mean? It's like we've passed the future in so many of these classic films from just 30 or 40 years ago. It's so weird.
The truth is, Wild Stallions will never be a super band until we have Eddie Van Halen on guitar.
Well, how can we have decent instruments when we don't really even know how to play?
That is why we need Eddie Van Halen.
And that is why we need a triumphant video. Excellent!
Ted, stand up.
Stand up?
Yes, son, stand up. Who was Joan of Arc?
Noah's wife?
Listen, guys, don't forget, tomorrow, final report, 1:30 to 3:30, okay?
It's actually a pretty smart answer if you just don't know at all and you had to guess.
It seems to me the only thing you've learned is that Caesar is a salad dressing dude. Now, unless you get an A+ on your final oral report tomorrow, guys, I have no choice but to flunk the both of you. Your report had better be something very special.
I imagine it's gonna be excellent.
We are in danger of flunking most heinously tomorrow, Ted.
Hi, Bill. Want a ride?
Sure, Missy. I mean, Mom.
Stepmom's cute.
Shut up, Ted.
I spoke to your principal today, Ted. If you fail history, you flunk out of school. You know what that would mean, don't you, Ted?
That I would have to go to Oates Military Academy.
Okay, back to this thing. What is this?
It is time. There is separation.
Not what I was expecting.
Imminent.
George Carlin Cyberpunk Edition. Look at that. You know, I had assumed that this was a low-budget movie, and maybe it is, but those special effects for the late 80s, I would have been impressed if I was in the theater. But the 80s was interesting in that it was like really early digital effects mixed with a lot of practical effects. It looked surreal, but it didn't look kind of plastic and shiny the way a lot of modern CG does.
Okay, the lady in that car over there said that Marco Polo was in the year 1275.
So it's not just a water sport. I knew it.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Do you know when the Mongols ruled China?
Perhaps we could ask them.
I'm kind of surprised they got George Carlin to do
Bill
this.
S. Preston, Esquire. I'm here to help you with your history report.
Oh, I hate that part.
Oh. It's them from later on in the movie.
You guys are gonna go back in time. Yeah! You are going to have the most excellent adventure through history.
Said the title.
We didn't believe it either when we were you. And we us said what we us are saying right now.
Catch you later, Bill and Ted! How are you gonna help us?
Yeah, you gonna call someone and get the answers?
Gentlemen, we're going to do a lot more than that.
What if this whole premise was just them predicting the smartphone? Because they're using a phone to learn about history. What is a smartphone if not just your access to all of human history?
Gentlemen, we're history. Austria, 1805. The French have just invaded.
Ah, Napoleon?
How's it going, dude?
Faites-le thé au lait.
Oh.
This has been a most unusual day. His name is Napoleon. He is a very famous French dude.
We've decided to collect other important figures from history for an oral report we are doing. We'll take you back to France after you tell us what you think of San Dimas. This is Ted's little brother, Deacon. He'll take care of you.
Pretty sure il ne parle pas l'anglais.
Please, Bill.
How's it going, old West dude? Who's he?
He's Billy the Kid.
He's famous, dude. Let's back him.
Here's the deal. What I win, I keep. What you win, I keep.
Sounds good, Mr. the Kid.
What the hell's going on here, Billy?
Are you cheating us, kid?
Cheating? Me?
Look, we're totally weak. We can't possibly fight.
However,
What a
I want
defense.
you gentlemen- Where are we going? The golden age of civilization. Where?
Ancient Greece, dude.
I wonder to what extent this movie was influenced by Back to the Future. Like if this was the studio's attempt at doing their version of high school kid time travel sort of movie.
Socrates. Look him up. Oh, it's under Socrates. Oh, yeah.
Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I be dropping these mockeries. Lyrically perform armed robbery.
Philosophize with him. All we are is dust in the wind, dude.
Himes, uten ano, lenconiotus.
Ted. I'm in love, dude. Those are historical babes. How are we gonna meet them?
Historical Babes would be a good name for a band.
Excellent.
Search the castle.
Funny thing is, like, this armor came from this castle. It's like, for all you know, you just stabbed one of your own.
You're alive! Yeah! I fell out of my suit when I hit the floor! Dude, you're totally throwing that
Wow.
in the head!
Okay. Shouldn't say that anymore.
Man, you must find a way to...
How's it going, ladies?
You're the ones we saw in front of the castle.
Will you go to the prom with us in San Dimas? We will have a most triumphant time. Way to go.
Put them in the Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden? Excellent!
Is this Billy?
Billy! So great! Let's go! Bill! Okay, I got one. Let's go!
I don't think they were supposed to be here.
Sure do play excellent music.
Most outstanding.
What is about to happen? All channeling their inner Pete Townsends.
Be excellent to each other.
Strong advice.
Party on, dudes!
Also strong advice. The world could use a little more be excellent to each other and party
Gotta
on.
get back to our report.
This was an oddly touching and tender moment.
We've got plenty of time, but we don't have any more room left. Ted, we're out of control. Right, we made it. Whoa. Miss Preston, we'd like you to meet some of our friends.
Yeah, this is, Dave Beethoven
Dave Beethoven.
and, Maxine Navarre.
Bob Genghis Khan.
This is the San Dimas Mall, and this is where people of today's world hang out.
You ditched Napoleon? Deacon,
And we were stranded in San Dimas for one day. Where would we go?
Waterloo!
Just like how Napoleon's just having his own little adventure this whole movie. Is he gonna go face first?
Sacable? Come on, buddy!
Oh, nice.
You a musician?
Is he? Beethoven in the 80s? This would have made some crazy prog rock music. You'd have probably put it like a duet album with Rick Wakeman.
side.
Got skills.
Keep it up, you're looking great.
Mom, please keep an eye on Napoleon.
I just got the joke. Waterloo, Napoleon, the Battle of Waterloo, and the water slide park is called Waterloo. Sometimes takes me a while, but usually I get there.
You're going to military school, Ted.
But Dad!
No, I don't want to hear it, Ted. But, Ted, you go home and you pack your bags now.
Our historical figures are all locked up. My dad won't let them out. After the report, we'll time travel back to 2 days ago, steal your dad's keys, and leave them here. Where? I don't know. How about behind that sign? See? Whoa, yeah!
So it seems we may be one report short today, so we'll leave just a bit early.
Hello, San Dimas. Please welcome, from all throughout history, some of the greatest people who have ever lived.
How's it going? I'm Billy the Kid.
He is sometimes known as the father of modern thought. He was the teacher of Plato, who was in turn the teacher of Aristotle, the most bodacious philosophizer in ancient Greece, Socrates!
What are they doing up there?
He also loves baseball. Thank you very much, Sigmund Freud. Nah, just got a minor Oedipal complex. It is indeed a pleasure to introduce... Joan of Arc plans on instituting a full-scale aerobics program on her return to France. Mr. Abraham Lincoln.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!
We met lots of great leaders. We got an A+ on our history report. And look at us. Nothing's different. Maybe we should start learning how to play.
Maybe you're right, Ted.
Hello again, my excellent friends.
Rufus, babes, we looked all over England for you. How can we ever thank you, Rufus?
Well, you can start by signing this for my kids. Wild Stallion's music has become the foundation of our whole society. I believe you were there. That futuristic place with the domes.
And the totally excellent music.
That was their music.
They totally worshipped us there, Rufus.
I got a surprise for you.
Those are the most 80s looking guitars I've ever seen. How do you tune them?
Do you know how to play, Rufus?
I play a little.
Let's jam! Bill, my friend? Yes, Ted, my friend. This has been a most excellent adventure.
Is that the third time they've said the title? Oh no. Yeah, they still have to learn.
Get better.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, it was a real quick, brisk 90 minutes. Even for 90 minutes, it felt fast. Like, that felt like 45 minutes, if I'm being honest. And not in a bad way. I mean, that was just very brisk pace. You know, not a whole lot in plot. You know, a lot of stuff happens in montages, which I don't mind. You know, it was very tightly edited. It surprises me that that's what this film was. I guess I didn't know what it was going to be, but yeah, just a high school comedy ending on a history report, you know, in which they're taking it very seriously, and they clearly did learn a lot about history. Yeah, it's just, there's something kind of sweet and refreshing about that. Because when I think of 80s high school movies, I think of like Porky's, you know, and I think of, you know, some of these more like kind of vulgar, hard-edged comedies, you know, And I'm not criticizing those. I'm just saying that's the expectation that I had for this movie, knowing what I know of the 80s comedies that I do know about in terms of high school comedies. And like how just the overall message is, be excellent to each other and party on. Good on them for that. That's a universal classic message. And I feel like it's one that we need to be putting out there more often nowadays. It is kind of a chaotic time. It is a time of a lot of uncertainty. But that's all the more reason to be excellent to each other. And that's all the more reason to party on. Because we do live in these serious times with serious problems. But life is multifaceted. Yeah, life is hard. The world is serious. But that doesn't mean that you have to live that way 24 hours a day. Find your joy, find your happiness, find your excellence, and be excellent to yourself, be excellent to others. Party on, whatever partying means to you. I mean, obviously, as long as you're not harming anyone else. If your version of partying is, being an asshole to people, then for sure don't do that. Find another way to be. But, if, partying for you is coming home after a long day of work and, playing your favorite video game or, watching a movie or just, talking to friends, like just, whatever that means to you, it's just like, be excellent to yourself, be excellent to others. Like, it's hard, man. And like, it's, people are just trying to get by in the world, So, give strangers the benefit of the doubt. We're all going through this, So, yeah, be excellent to each other. Life's too short not to. The only weird thing in this movie, and it kind of makes sense in the context of the time, but especially now just sticks out like a major sore thumb, especially given how, like, vulnerable and just sincere and tender this movie is in so many respects, and the characters are in particular with each other, is that weird moment where they give each other a hug because they're relieved that Ted's not dead after all, and so they hug each other, and then they back up and then they call each other the F word, which is like, I mean, it just really goes to show like how much has changed socially in terms of what's acceptable, because this movie's not like a crass, sort of comedy. It's like a very sweet comedy, but there's still that moment of just using a homophobic slur, which is just like definitely the version of this movie being made today. Like that it wouldn't even come up. Like it wouldn't even be like, should we have this line? It's like they wouldn't even think of having that line. Which I'm not going to tell a screenwriter or a director that they can't have a certain type of scene or say a certain type of line in a movie. I would just ask that if you're going to do it, know why you're doing it. It's like there's a stand-up comedian, Todd Glass, and he put it brilliantly. I think this is the best way that I've ever heard comedy talked about, which is, he said, and again, this is Todd Glass saying this, he said, you can make any joke you want, but for it to be a joke and for it to be worthy as a joke, it has to be more funny than it is mean. So you can tell a really mean joke. It just has to be more funny than it is mean. Funny always has to be the number one priority in making that joke. You can't just say mean shit just to say it. Like, that's not comedy. Like, it has to still be funny at the end of the day. There's a fine line there. Like, yeah, there's, political correctness, but sometimes political correctness just means not being an asshole. Sometimes it just means being a decent person. But it can go overboard too. Like, it's like there's context for everything. But yeah, overall, a fun film. Just like I said, overall, really good, just positive message. Looking forward to watching part 2, Bogus Journey, at some point soon on this channel. That's going to do it for me for today. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you want more reactions like this, doing them every week, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications, because that lets you know when I post a new video. Signing off for today, this has been Good Movies and Music. My name's AJ. Thanks for watching, have a good day, and be excellent to each other.